Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Mary and I give you an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you can click the subscribe button. I upload 3 times a week. Get ready with me, shop my stash, trying on new makeup, and sometimes the occasional makeup declutter. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you more than you know. So as you can tell from the title of the video, I'm not sure how I'm going to word this particular video. I'm pretty sure it's going to be like a battle of drugstore versus high-end bronzer. I'm not comparing these two. This new NYX Buttermelt Bronzer is like a true bronzer, and this new Dior Forever Natural Bronze is like a bronze slash blush all in one, kind of like the Guerlain terracotta. But I'm pretty sure, just, you know, to get your attention, I'm gonna say battle of the drugstore bronzer versus high-end luxury bronzer, something around those lines. If you're interested to hear my thoughts on both of these bronzers, then just go ahead and keep on watching. All right, my lovelies, hair is pulled back. Let me tell you what I have on my face, because I do have foundation, concealer, and powder. So I went in to the LYS foundation and I mixed just a tiny bit of Surratt Dewdrops in shade 3, and MN4 is the shade I have for the LYS. Concealer, I went into the Cali Ray Under Eye Brightener in Golden Hour and the slightest bit of the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer. Then I powdered my under eyes with the Charlotte Tilbury Translucent Brightening Under Eye Powder, you know, her famous formula. And then for the rest of my face, I went into the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse powder, and that is all I have on my face. Now let's talk bronzers. So 2 new bronzers from completely different sides of the makeup world. NYX Cosmetics and Dior Beauty. One was like $14, no, 10, and the other one $55. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is the NYX, and this is how it came in my package. I'm hoping it's not broken. I've already dropped it like 2 times. Yeah, so cross your fingers. And this is what it looks like. It does not come in a box or anything. It does have a little sticker here to prevent it from opening, but that's what it looks like. I actually do like the packaging itself. It kind of shows you, you know, the deepness of the bronzer itself, because I do believe each component, there's 8 different shades, and it's like this kind of almost cool tone nude, right? And it goes from like light to super deep. So that I absolutely love. Let me open this. And like I said, it retails for $10. Okay, it's not broken. Oh, that smells divine. I hope this works. I think it will, but I like this. I like, it might not be sleek, but I do enjoy this. I don't think we've seen packaging like this for quite some time from a brand, but I do enjoy this. What does this smell like? Oh, it smells like coconuts. Almost like the Physicians formula, and it does have a little pattern on there. Okay, 6-month shelf life. Wow, 6 months. You're expected to use this in 6 months. That is crazy. And it was made in Taiwan. The shade I purchased is BM-B03 Deserve Butter. All right, let me give you the details. So 8 different shades, and I purchased mine through Ulta. I think Walmart and Target also carry it. Probably your local Walgreens, CVS, all of those places. So I purchased the 3rd lightest shade, right? Yeah, Deserve Butter. I almost got Butter Biscuit, but I think I've seen some reviews and I didn't like the undertone of that one. So that's why I went with the one that I got. It is described as a light medium neutral, and it is the Buttermelt Pressed Powder Natural Finish Bronzer from NYX Cosmetics. Let me give you a tiny bit of details about the product. NYX Professional Makeup Buttermelt Bronzer blends like a powder and glides like butter for a sun-soaked bronze with a natural finish and 12 hours of wear. I'm not using this for 12 hours. Okay, let's put it on my face, shall we? All right, so let's apply this. I picked up this NARS bronzer brush. I did clean this. Let me go ahead and swatch this real quick. Ooh, okay, so it feels like a creamy powder. Oh, wow. So soft. What is this reminding me of? Okay, and as you can see, it does have some sheenness to the formula. I was a little bit scared when I did see people review this because it kind of sort of reminded me a tiny bit of bronzer we used to wear back in 2010, where all of them had some sort of shimmer sheen to them. So hopefully we're okay. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is use the NYX on this side and the Dior on the other side, and then if I need to at the end kind of match them, then I will. But let's dig right in and see. Picked up quite a bit, so I'm going to tap it. I don't have any cream bronzer or contour because I really want to see this in action on its own. Ooh, that's pretty actually. Okay, I do feel like it has a slight pinkiness to it. I think I picked good on the shade because I feel like if I would have gone with the next shade up, I think I would have had to tread softly. So keep that in mind. I do feel like these, from the reviews that I have seen, maybe have a little more pigment than you anticipate, because I feel like this is building up really well. I'm loving this formula. It's very, very soft. It almost like melts right into your skin. Wow, okay. And I don't feel like you can see the sheen a lot, which makes me happy because I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was going to be like 2010, 2012 bronzer situation. Okay, I'm liking that, and the smell is divine. Oh my goodness. If you didn't like the smell of the Physicians formula, you probably won't like this smell. Okay, all right, NYX. First impression, so far so good. Okay, and now for the bougie portion of this video. From Dior, the Forever Natural Bronze Glow. I picked up the shade 032 Pink Bronze. I'm not 100% sure how the shading went. I love the outer packaging. I think it is so pretty. My Christian Dior here has kind of scratched off a tiny bit. I wonder if you could see it. Probably right where the box was hitting it at the top, because it is a tiny bit like a dome. And then does have the little protector, and here is so pretty. That embossing is beautiful. I need to read the details because it looks like there is normal bronzer, the blush, which is the pink, yeah, the pink lines, and then the Christian Dior looks like it's a tiny bit, oh yeah, on the sheeny side and not like a matte formulation like this here. That Dior scent, if you don't like it. Looks beautiful, cannot wait to dip into this. First, a tiny bit of details. So I purchased mine through the Dior website. It did come on Selfridges. Selfridges, those stores that like are overseas but they ship to the US. I decided to wait until it came to local retailers like Nordstrom, Saks Fifth Avenue, or the Dior website. I don't know if it's at Nordstrom, Macy's, Saks Fifth, any of those retailers yet. There's 4 different shades available. I honestly don't know, like it doesn't even tell you like a description of the shade. So there's 031 Coral Bronze, 032 Pink Bronze, which is the shade that I got, 051, which is Peachy Bronze, and 052, which is Rosy Bronze. So I don't know if that correlates with the shades that they have for their bronzers, because I think I have shade 2 and shade, oh, maybe shade 5 and shade 6 are the shades that I have. So I don't know. If you know, tell me down below in the description box. I would love to know. I'm not a Dior expert. So the Dior Forever Natural Bronze Glow retails for $55. That's a lot of moolah. This powder reveals a radiant, sun-kissed complexion enhanced with a healthy glow effect. The limited edition couture case features an embroidered canage, I think that's how you say that, pattern with a Christian Dior band. Dior Forever Natural Bronze Glow includes 4 healthy glow shades with each colorway: a satiny powder bronzer, a matte sculpting powder, a vibrant blush, and an illuminating powder infused with flashes of gold. The shades work together to naturally revive the complexion to give a sun-kissed glow effect. The bronzer's texture is light and ultra fine with a barely there feel upon application. It delivers a perfect seamless finish for a naturally warmed complexion. All right. Gosh, I hate that I need to ruin this. So I think I'm going to start with the top where it looks like it's just the normal bronzer and swatch that. Look at the difference in pigmentation between this and this. Luxury versus non-luxury, you know? Okay, so I'm gonna try, we shall see how successful I am. If I can just get the pink. No, I totally failed. But let's see. Yeah, it's just impossible. That line is so thin. Now I'm gonna try the Christian Dior, and it's ruined. Okay, but this is the one that has like the glowy, I feel like, maybe. I don't know. Okay, so this is the top. This is the kind of crappy blush swatch, and then this is where the Christian Dior band is. I don't know. I feel like these two look very similar. Okay, now I'm going to ruin all of it, and I'm going to just swatch all 3 together because that's how I'm going to use it. There's no way I'm going to dip into everything individually. Right here. Okay, so more pigmentation for sure when it's all 3 of them. And then this is what the pan looks like once I'm done. I do have comparisons because I own the Guerlain Terracotta Light Bronzer, which I feel is a similar concept because it has, I think, 3 different kinds of powder shades in the bronzer, or maybe 4, but yeah. Okay, let's get started in applying. Okay, I have 2 different brushes here that I'm going to use. I feel like when it comes to my Dior bronzers, I do have to use natural hair bristle brushes. I feel like they just perform a tiny bit better. Anytime I have to use synthetic for my Dior bronzers, I feel like I really have to build up the product. So I pulled out this Sonia G Soft Buffer and this other Sonia G Classic Cheek. Let's start with this one. I don't know if I'm going to use this one yet. This has a 12-month shelf life and it was made in France. All right, so I'm just going to dip in directly into the whole pan because there's no point of me trying to get each shade individually. I think that's how this was meant to be used. Just everything kind of swirled together. So let's start. And you are going to have a slight pinky undertone, obviously, because of the pink blush in here. Keep that in mind. More than likely, you could probably use this as a blush as well, or just include it on your whole cheek to where it looks like it's all just mixed in together. Almost like a 2-in-1 or 3-in-1 because you're trying to sculpt bronze and a blush at the same time. I can't see the pinkiness in there. Can you? This brush is working beautifully. And I'm actually pretty glad that this is a good tone because, gosh, is it shade 5? Maybe shade 4. I'll pull out my bronzers as well from Dior just so we can compare pans and the undertones, just so we can compare pans and the tones of the regular bronzer and this limited edition one. I'm loving this. You can definitely see that gold that they're talking about. Camera's probably not picking it up as good, but I can see it in the mirror. Okay, so this one's a tiny bit more dark than this one. Pretty, pretty, pretty. I'm loving that. I'm glad. I was a little nervous. The Guerlain Terracotta Light that I have, even though it's I think shade 3 medium warm, I believe, I do really have to build that tone up. Okay, let me go ahead and finish off the rest of my face, and then we'll jump into some comparisons with the Dior bronzer. I don't have anything to compare the NYX with. Not that I can think of at the top of my head. I'm pretty sure this is my very first NYX bronzer in a really long time. I did have that original one that they've had for years and years and years, but gosh, I want to say it's been like 3 or 4 years since I've owned that. All right, my lovelies, makeup is done. Let me tell you what else I have on my face that you didn't see me put on camera. For powder blush, I went in to my latest Chanel blush, the Duo in Rosé Coquillage, as part of the latest collection. I forget what collection that was. I did go in a tiny bit into the Sephora collection powder contour, not a lot, just a tiny bit, to kind of sculpt. I feel like the NYX, which is on this side, and the Dior, which is on this side, bronzers don't look too different. So I decided to leave them and not even them out, and I think they look good. For highlighter, went into the What's It Beauty Serengeti highlighter. Absolutely love that highlighter. For the eyes, I did film another video. I used a Pat McGrath palette because I'm finishing up that Pat McGrath series, and it's the 5-pan eyeshadow palette in Lunar Nightshade. I think this eye look came out beautiful. For the lips, I have on the Refi Beauty Lip Sculpt in Fawn and the Skin by Kim matte lipstick in Nude 03. Mascaras, Cali Ray and the KVD 2B mascara. For my brows, I went into the Got To Be brow gel. Okay, so I did pull out the other two Dior bronzers that I own. I did take off the swatches. And again, I don't really have anything else to compare the NYX Buttermelt Bronzer. Yeah, I cannot think of anything. I think as of right now, the only thing texture-wise that I can think is the new YSL bronzer, just texture-wise, because it's a powder, but when you swatch it, it feels like butter, like a silky butter. It's really nice. But I'm enjoying this. First impressions, definitely worth the $10 that you pay for it, and it's performing, as you could see, pretty well. If you're in the search for a new bronzer, check this one out. Okay, let's get to swatching. I'm gonna swatch the new Dior bronzing, whatever, glowy situation. Like, even though it has 3 shades, it's a bronzer. To me, it's a bronzer with a slight pinky tone because of that blush in there. Okay, so here's the Dior, and that's everything swirled. For the permanent line, and that's how you can tell that this is part of the permanent line. I feel like when it comes to the special edition Dior bronzers, they usually have like special packaging. Not always, but the 2 that I have that are special edition, they have a different packaging than this. This is like that fall leather cushion, and this is the shade 05 Warm Bronze, and this is the one that I really have to build up, and as you can see, the embossment is almost completely gone, and it does feel different from the new formula, but pretty close. So I'm going to swatch this one here. And this one's more of a neutral. Alongside to this, you can definitely see the pink in this one. Okay, and now this one, which was a special edition, as you could tell because of the outer packaging. Compare this to this. This is more fancy. 100% I just wanted this because and this is fabric. The cushion is fabric. This is the 006 Amber Bronze, and it's a limited edition. I forget what collection this is from, but it's no longer available. And as you can see, it's definitely darker, and the Christian Dior embossment is almost completely gone. This one feels a tiny bit more dry than the other 2 that I have in my collection, but it feels buttery soft when you blend it. Okay, so yeah, so this one's darker. I would say it has a tiny bit more of a brown, goldeny brown. And this one I feel is neutral, right? So this is the new one. This is the original permanent collection, and this is the limited edition. So they are different. They probably won't look super different on the cheeks, but these two definitely will look different on the cheek than this one. All in all, I'm actually really happy with this. It performed better than I thought it was going to. I honestly thought that possibly maybe I was going to have to really build up the pigment, but as you saw, I didn't. I definitely feel the brush that I used helped in that situation. But yeah, I am pretty happy with this purchase. I know $55 is a good amount of money. I know it is, trust me. I don't know what it is about certain items from Dior. I do feel like they keep giving us the same thing over and over when it comes to like their quints. This to me was interesting. Okay, so now I'm gonna compare this one to the Guerlain Terracotta and then we'll be done with this video. So just one more comparison. I totally forgot that I was gonna do this too. When I first saw the promos for this new limited edition Dior bronzer, first thing that came to mind was this Guerlain Terracotta Light. I have the shade 03 Medium Warm, and let me show you what the pan looks like. There it is. So it has 3 different formulas. It has like a matte, soft matte bronzer. See that golden one? And then a blush formulation that also has a tiny bit of sheen. So this is what I thought of when I saw this, right? The only thing is the one that I got from the Dior is, it has like a pink bronzer in there, and this one is like a peachy. So let me swatch the Guerlain. And for the Guerlain, I honestly just swirl my brush in here and use it that way. I do have to build this one up. Like even though it's shade 3, and I think there was 4 or 5 shades, this is the Guerlain right here. I do have to really build this up, but it has a warm peachy undertone to it. It honestly is absolutely beautiful. It has that Guerlain like baby powder scent to it, which is so dreamy. Okay, so now I'm gonna swatch the Dior, the new one, and they're not gonna be exactly the same because like I said, the Dior has the pink blush. I think if I would have picked up one of the peachy ones, it would have been pretty close, but I didn't want to have the same thing as the Guerlain, you know? Okay, but actually, I don't know, they look close. Kind of close, right? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay, so they'll probably perform very similarly on the cheek. So if you have the Guerlain Terracotta Light, you probably don't need this Dior. I wanted it because I wanted to compare it to this, and I knew that I would truly enjoy it because I love the Guerlain, like I've said who knows how many times. Okay, that is all the comparisons that I wanted to do for the Dior bronzer. So we are done. All right, my lovelies, thank you so much for joining me with these 2 new bronzers. One is $10, one is $55. Do I prefer one over the other? No, I think they both actually performed quite nicely, close to being, I don't mean similar, just I enjoyed them both pretty quite the same. This one's $10, so I would probably, if I was, you know, on a budget and had to pick between one or the other, I would say the NYX performs, like I said, equally as nice. So you would not be disappointed. If you don't like the Physicians Formula coconut scent, you're not gonna like this. This is a big old thumbs up from me. This Dior one, I already knew I was gonna love it. I already knew it. It's $55, you don't need this, okay? If you have the Guerlain Terracotta Light Bronzer, you don't need this. But is it beautiful? Absolutely. Am I gonna enjoy this? Absolutely. So there is no winner in this video. They're both actually stunning. All right, my lovelies, again, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. You have no idea. All the comments, all the likes. If you use my links to shop, it truly does mean the world to me. With that being said, do not forget to give the video a big thumbs up. And also, if you haven't already, make sure to click the subscribe button, and I will see you all on my next video. Bye.